Freddie Ljungberg's just had his conference, and there was a few things that we need to touch up on. One of them was he talked about his suit was in the dry cleaner, and you know what? To cut a long story short, let's be honest, the guy got the job 48 hours ago. The suits are actually tailored by a company for the team, and I'm not actually sure if he was a part of that process. I honestly believe that there was never a suit made for him or anyone in the academy side. And if there was, I'd be surprised, because obviously everything is done on a budget, first team, intermediate team with the youth academy. So I'm not quite sure that Freddie has the same type of suit that was made for the first team. I'm sure the club are doing something about that now, but you know, let's give him a bye for that. He obviously knows what he's got to do, and it's just not that important for the press to keep picking up on that, although I did talk about it. I just thought it was something of a joke, so that's the reason why I brought it up. But the most important thing is he acknowledged that he's watched the game twice and he saw issues on the counter-attack where players were not in positions. And I picked that out against Callum Chambers in my last video. Callum Chambers was way behind the play, and there was a few times that David Luiz got caught out as well. But it wasn't so much that, it was Mustafi getting caught out in play, but then running past Pukki and not even putting a challenge in. And that, there's just no excuse for that. And I don't think Freddie would have liked that. As soon as he would have saw what happened, that probably would have rubbed him the wrong way. But he is going to address it. He's talked about they've now had 2 coaching sessions, and he's picked up on certain things which he's going to fix. Now, for me, overall, the message was loud and clear. This was one of the first conferences that I actually understood what was going on, and so did the reporters. And there's nothing against Unai Emery. His English isn't great. There's no need to beat up on him about it. But in terms of Max Allegri, you will have the same problem. Yeah? As far as the message and being transparent and everybody understanding what's going on, that won't change with Max Allegri. He will run into the same problems. But with Freddie, it was nice to hear him being straight, clear, articulate about the situations. He was answering questions from the media in a way that we could really translate them in terms of what he was doing with the team. He's not going to give away anything on formations, and he's also not going to give anything on personnel as well. We'll have to wait and see who he's going to put in after the display against Norwich. He did note that a few players like Bellerin, etc. were injured. Players like Rob Holding were short. But the one thing that I did pick up on was he said that he's looked at the data and he's seen that we were creating a lot of chances on the offensive end in terms of running behind the back line and making those runs and the passes. What he's really talking about is our midfield missing opportunities for guys who are making forward runs behind the back line. Those guys are there making the runs. The heat map shows it. They are well aware of what's going on, and it's really just for our midfielders to continue to find open spaces in the gaps behind the defence. And I think Freddie was really happy with that. He was happy with what he saw, and the team will continue to build on that. I've talked to the guys at Guna Squad today about Aubameyang's lack of support in terms of his lack of assists and chances created for the rest of the team. But look, yes, he needs to improve that, but that's why Ozil's in the squad. And Ozil had a decent game against Norwich. In the home game, I'm looking forward for him to shine. Hopefully, we might get Sabalas back this game. I don't know, it might be a week too short, but remember, it wasn't a full-blown hamstring. It was just a slight tear. So I think he should be ready. He was in training today, so it would be interesting to see where they go with that. But overall, my feedback is that Freddie again talked about recruitment, which is another thing I picked up in my last video. And recruitment's a big issue, but remember, the way we have changed and designed and tailor-made our structure at Arsenal, recruitment is something that the manager or head coach is not really going to play a big part of. And I, for one, wanted Freddie to be part of that process. And I think for Freddie, he's still going to be working alongside bringing up the academy players. You know, John Jules has joined the first squad now. So we're looking for him to continue to integrate those young players into the team. So look forward to that happening more. I think as a whole, Martinelli is probably more of a complete striker. He's got such a higher ceiling, and you can see from the stuff that he does when he's on the field, bringing others into play, his hold-up play, the runs that he makes. He's really good with his head in the box. And I think from that standpoint, Lacazette needs to be careful, and so does Pepe, because you've got a guy who can come in and rub everybody the wrong way, who can really make a stamp on the first team. But overall, guys, check out the interview for yourself. I think it's really refreshing to hear that Freddie has got a plan and he understands what needs to be fixed. And I just hope that this clear, precise message finds its way to the players. His message would be heard and displayed and picked up on, and he can see the results from it. And that's all we can really hope for. And that's it from me, guys. Just a quick review of Freddie's conference and how he did. And I think he did really well. Sev was the manager of England. He was a Swedish manager, and he has talked to him. He has not spoken to Arsene Wenger yet, and that's on his to-do list. Wouldn't you like to be a fly on the wall in that conversation with Freddie and Arsene Wenger? Oh my Lord. Anyway, listen, that's it from me, guys. It's Brighton on Thursday, home game, and I'll see you there. Speak to you soon. Peace out.